Okay, so as of now, for AC fundamentals, we have seen different definitions of the sinusoidal waveform like cycle, instantaneous value, frequency, time period, all that things. So now next one is the RMS value. So RMS, which stands for root mean square value. If we take it graphically, so it is the root mean square of the given value. So if we see the definition for it, the RMS value of AC is equal to the steady state or DC value that is required to produce the same amount of heat as produced by AC, provided that the resistance and time are identical. This is the typical definition of the RMS value. So this is what it is equating with the DC value, steady state value for the same amount of heat produced by that value. So this is the typical definition. All AC currents and voltages are expressed in RMS values unless it is clearly specified. Until and unless it is clearly specified, all the values for currents and voltage we have to consider as the RMS values. RMS value of current is denoted by IRMS or simply capital I, and that of the voltage VRMS or capital V. For sinusoidal waveform, the RMS value is equal to 0.707 times peak value. So IRMS is equal to 0.707 times the maximum value. Now there is a derivation for it. You have to prove that the IRMS value is equal to 0.707 times maximum value. So for that, let us consider this simple sinusoidal waveform as you have considered previously. So for that sinusoidal waveform, your instantaneous value I is equal to Im sin omega t. Take the square of this waveform. I square is equal to Im square sin square omega t. So therefore sin square omega t is 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. So use it here. Then step 2, take the average of I square. So how to average of this cosine? So we have the integration. By taking average, we have to take the area under the curve divided by length of the curve. And the average of symmetrical sinusoidal waveform is always calculated over half cycle. Because if you calculate for full cycle, their average will be 0. Because this positive half and the negative half, resultant average will be 0. So we'll only consider a positive half cycle. Hence the average of pi square is given by integration of 0 to pi. So this is for 0 to pi. And the value of this I square d omega t. So the value of this I square is Im square 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2 and divided by the length of the curve. Length is what? Pi. Right? So by calculating this integration, so we'll get Im square by 2. Right? You need to calculate this total term, then you will get Im square by 2. Now to taking square root of it, so I square is equal to IRMS. So taking square root, Im square by 2, taking square root, so here 1 half. So if we calculate this, so Im by 2 raised to half, that is under root of 2. So when we calculate 1 by root 2, so it will get 0.707 times maximum value. So this is the required expression for the RMS value. So very simple expression, hope you understood it. Now the next is average value. As we all know, what is the average? Average value of alternating quantity is equal to the average of all the instantaneous values over the period of half cycle. So again we'll calculate for half cycle, because for complete cycle average value will be 0. The average value of current is denoted by I average or DC, and that of voltage is V average or V DC. So we can say the DC value is nothing but the average value. So average value is expressed without positive or negative sign, and the average value of sinusoidal waveform is equal to 0.637 times its maximum value. So this is the expression, I average equal to 0.637 times maximum value. So again we'll have a derivation for this average value. So let us consider the waveform again, the same waveform. Having instantaneous value I is equal to Im sin omega t. Calculating the average value, same formula as previously we have used, area under the curve divided by length. So again for symmetrical sinusoidal waveform, it is calculated for half cycle. So I average equal to 0 to pi integration I am sin omega t by pi d omega t with respect to omega t. So when you calculate this, you will get Im by pi, and that is minus cos omega t 0 to pi. Take the integration, we will have this term. And when you calculate cos pi and cos 0 is 1, cos pi is minus 1. So we can use it here. 1 plus 1, that will be 2. So I average equal to 2 Im by pi. And when we calculate 2 by pi, so it will be 0.637. So I average equal to 0.637 times the maximum value. So this is the required expression for the average value. The next term is the form factor denoted by Kf. It is simply the ratio of RMS value to the average value of that alternating quantity. So Kf is equal to RMS value by average value. For symmetrical sinusoidal current, we have Kf, we have calculated RMS value is 0.707 times maximum value and average value is 0.637 times maximum. So it will get cancelled. So form factor is 1.11. So this is for symmetrical sinusoidal waveform. Keep in mind, this is only for symmetrical sinusoidal waveform. Otherwise, we need to calculate. Peak factor Kp, it is defined as the ratio of peak value to the RMS value of an alternating quantity. So Kp is equal to peak value to the RMS value. So for symmetrical sinusoidal waveform, peak value is maximum value Im and RMS value is 0.6707 times maximum value. So we'll calculate it and Kp is equal to 1.414. So this is the peak factor for symmetrical sinusoidal waveform only. Next topic we are going to cover is phasor representation of the alternating quantity. Now we have seen the waveform of the alternating quantity, and with respect to that, the mathematical expression for this waveform. Now we'll denote that waveform in terms of phasor representation, because what happens, many times there are so many waveforms for the single frequency on any circuit we have to plot. So it is not possible, or it will be a tedious job to draw multiple waveforms in the given circuit. So for that, the phasor representation will simplify your representation. So here we'll see phasor representation. Now phasor is a straight line with an arrow mark on one side. So this is what the phasor is, a straight line with arrow mark on one side. The length of the straight line represents the magnitude of the sinusoidal quantity and arrow represents its direction. This is the length will represent the magnitude and the arrow represents the direction. The speed of rotation of the phasor is equal to omega radian per second. Omega is 2 pi a. The direction of rotation is always anti-clockwise. The angle by which the phasor rotates with respect to the reference axis is called phase angle. So this is what the theta with respect to the reference axis. Here we will consider horizontal axis. So this is called the phase angle. Next, phasor representation of alternating quantity. So let us see in detail. This is our waveform, and we have to plot different phasors for this waveform. Their expression is for the waveform is sinusoidal waveform, as this is a sinusoidal waveform. So this is the sine of the angle theta. Look at that. At origin position 0. So this is what the origin position 0, and with respect to this reference axis, let us consider this is the origin position 0 degree. So this is the phasor for the origin. Now this waveform is moved 30 degree. So this is what the 30 degree. This is the position 30 degree. We have plotted a straight line here. So this is the phasor for 30 degree, and this length will represent its magnitude. For 60 degree, this is what 60 degree phasor. We have drawn it here 60 degree. Next, for 90 degree, it is the maximum value, right? Am, it is the maximum value, 90 degree. So this is the complete straight line. So 90 degree here, if you measure this angle, it will be 90 degree. Here also it is the 90 degree, and the magnitude is nothing but the magnitude of the quantity. 120 degree, again it is 120 degree here. Similarly 150 degree, here it is getting 150 degree from this reference axis, and 180 degree, exactly opposite to the origin position, and it is again at 0 magnitude. Similarly, for negative half cycle, 210 degree, then 240 degree, 270 degree, 300, 330 degree, and 360. So this is for negative half cycle. So this is how at particular instant on this waveform we can draw that particular phasor. So here the length will represent the magnitude and the angle at which the waveform is running. And with respect to that, here phasor will have that angle, so which is called phase angle, right? So this is phasor representation of alternating quantities. So for any waveform which is having the frequency, so we can represent that waveforms in terms of these phasors, right? Okay, so that's all in this video. So the remaining part, that is here the concept of phase difference and the mathematical representation, we'll see in the next video. So thank you for watching it.